Let's begin by telling you that no fewer than 6 suspected members of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra and its affiliate Eastern Security Network have been killed following a raid in Abia State. The development followed clearance and raid operations by troops of Operation Udoka of the IPOB ESN camp in Igboro Forest in Arochukwu local government area of the state on Saturday. The Nigerian army disclosed that 3 out of those killed during the raid were among the perpetrators of the attack on its troops in Aba area of the state. The soldiers were also reported to have recovered weapons, including 3 locally fabricated rocket-propelled grenade launchers, 2 locally fabricated artillery guns with tripod and bombs. Staying on security matters, a wave of terror has struck the farming communities in Niger State, forcing many to flee their homes. In the Gaza community, 20 residents were brutally killed by bandits, sparking fears and mass dissertation. Senator Sani Musa, representing Niger East Central District, disclosed the grim details following the horrific beheading of 10 youths and the murder of 10 others in Gaza, located in Shiroro local government area of the state. The victims were reportedly killed for resisting the bandits' demand to join their ranks. In a related incident, Senator Musa noted that bandits attacked Kuchi community, killing 7 security agents and abducting around 150 persons just 3 weeks ago. As of now, Kuchi remains a ghost town. Its inhabitants have fled in terror. These brutal attacks comes at a critical time as residents were preparing for the famine season, their primary source of living. Now, the recent surge in violence has casted a dark shadow over these years' agricultural prospects in many Niger communities. Troops and special forces of Operation Wild Punch conducted special fighting patrols in Kashia Kujuru axis of Kaduna State, have neutralized 5 bandits in Dantarau general area of Kajuru local government area of the state. This was disclosed in a statement issued on Sunday by the State Commissioner of Internal Security and Home Affairs, Samuel Aruwan, about the troops' operations to clear the Maro and Nugu axis spanning Kachia and Kajuru local government areas. According to Aruwan, the troops engaged the bandits at Dantaru community, and after a sharp exchange of gunfire, 5 of the criminals were neutralized. The troops also recovered 2 AK-47 rifles, 1 locally fabricated submachine gun, 9 AK-47 magazines, 250 rounds of 7.62 mm ammunition, 2 motorcycles, and 2 handheld radio sets from the bandits. The FCT Police Command, in collaboration with special forces from the Guards Brigade, DSS and Hunters, successfully stormed bandits' hideouts as Commissioners of Police intensifies coordinated operations in suspected bandit routes and camps. In a statement issued on Sunday by the FCT Police Public Relations Officer, Josephine Ade Apnea, she noted that acting on credible intelligence, the operations targeted kidnappers' camps in Gidan Dogo and Kweti Forest, located in Kaduna State near the FCT border on May 7, 2024. The operation led to the arrest of 4 suspects who confessed to being members of a notorious bandit syndicate known as My 1 Million, responsible for numerous kidnappings and other serious crimes in the FCT and also surrounding areas. During the coordinated raid, a shootout ensued between the bandits and security operatives, resulting in the bandits fleeing and the successful rescue of kidnapped victims. Let's move away from security matters now to labor matters, where we understand that the Nigeria Labour Congress has accused state governors of bad faith in minimum wage negotiations, rebutting a governor's claim that paying 60,000 naira monthly is not sustainable. Governors through the Nigeria Governors Forum rejected the proposed wage, citing concerns over budgetary constraints. Now, Niger, the NGF, worried that implementing the 60,000 naira minimum wage would exhaust states' funds, leaving little for development projects. The NLC's public affairs head, that's Benson Opa, criticized the governor's stance, calling it unprecedented and untimely amidst ongoing negotiations. Upper stated that they believe the governors have acted in bad faith. He added that it was unheard of for such a statement to be issued to the world in the middle of an ongoing negotiation. Earlier, we were joined by a public affairs analyst, Fidelis Ede, who shared his thoughts on this.
The truth of the matter is that governance cannot be left to discretionary prompting of those who have been elected to govern. For me, I think the challenge lies on the fact that the rule of law seems not to be what thrives in public service and generally in Nigeria. The question will be, does any governor have the right to reject a legally determined minimum wage? And the answer is no. This is not the first time the governors are rising against the implementation of minimum wage. If you recall, when the Senate, I think the Senate, when Ekweremadu was the deputy president, had determined that the issue of minimum wage be removed from the exclusive legislative list. You know, by 1963 Constitution, the minimum wage and wage-related matters were in concurrent legislative list. But by 79, it was moved to the exclusive, meaning that minimum wage have to be nationally determined. But the challenge we'll have, which I do not know why the National Assembly and the current labor leaders, including the executives, keep sharing away from, is that what is it that is minimum wage in terms of concept and legality? What we've always had, like you are having now, is wage review. That is not minimum wage. I do not know why it is difficult for us to arrive to a common template as to what we want to do.
In the meantime, the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project is taking legal action against President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration. According to a statement signed on Sunday by its Deputy Director, Kolawole Oluwadare, SERAP said the outcome of the case could significantly impact the transparency and accountability mechanism in Nigeria's financial management. The lawsuit demands the publication of detailed spending reports and agreements related to loans acquired by the administration of the former presidents Olusegun Obasanjo, Umaru Yar'Adua, Goodluck Jonathan, and Muhammadu Buhari. Filed last Friday at the Federal High Court in Lagos, the suit aims to compel the Minister of Finance, Wale Edun, and the Debt Management Office to disclose how these loans, totaling billions of dollars, were utilized. Away from that, a bill seeking to return to a regional system of government for Nigeria will be transmitted to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu next week, titled A Bill for an Act to Substitute the Annexure to Decree 24 of the 1999 with a new governance model for the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The bill seeks, amongst others, new extant laws to be cited as the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria New Governance Model for Nigeria Act 2024. Following inquiries, the House of Representatives last week disowned the bill, saying the proposed legislation was not before committee for deliberation. However, the drafter of the private bill, Aki Fakwonda, said he had chosen to send the proposed law to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who may in turn present the same to Parliament as an executive bill. Let's also tell you that a group of traders in Plateau State have called on the state government of Plateau to make the availability of conducive shopping structures for their daily transaction top priority. This call came with New Central's crew visited a terminus, the Just Main Market, to see the level of compliance by traders whom government has relocated from the roads to a temporary place for their transactions. According to the government, this development is for their safety as well as the beautification of the city center, especially within the Jos Bokoro metropolis. Now, News Central's Chizoba Anyonwe tells us more.
This is the popular Jasmine Market terminus, which got burnt many years ago. Before the inferno, terminus was a huge revenue earner, thereby improving the economy of Plateau State. But now, this is what is left of it. A few weeks ago, Government Executive Order 3 caught up with some traders who moved their businesses to the roadside and under makeshift structures as against the warnings of government since last September. Those structures have been demolished and the traders ordered to temporarily relocate here, just beside the burnt market. This development still doesn't sit well with these traders who are back on the roads again.
We're not that happy because when they find waiting children to go eat. And this thing can't happen like this. We're not going to fight. And we're not going to call anybody.
We see all of us say they are only give us 5 shops. And the shop is not with us. They are not even show us the place yet. That's why.
They will say they can't go inside. Some is even when crossing, they will see what they wanted to buy. So they will stay and buy. That's why we still there on the road.
Despite the dangers associated with this kind of roadside transactions, this is what the affected traders have to say.
Please, we are calling the government in order to look into it. They provide space for us, but the space that they provide, the head, as in the people that they are in head of us, are not giving us the space. It's only when you know someone before they will give you space here, or you paid money.
They never give us the place you go vacate. So now I make everybody jam on the road now. Yes. So if they give us the place, we go stay. We're not going to stay here again.
This condition now, we spend more than 20 years here. We are selling market, and government said that we should park inside. We are about to park inside. They are there selling the place to others while they are not here.
Behind me now is where government has temporarily relocated these traders for their safety and also for the beautification of the city center. However, they still prefer, some of them actually still prefer to be on the roadside, saying that that is where their customers will easily locate them for their businesses. But how this pans out with the plans of government is what everybody is waiting patiently to see. From the Jasmine Market, for News Central, Chizoba Anyonwe.
Nigeria's Minister of Information and National Orientation has launched the nation's audience management system for the broadcast media and advertising industry. The minister says that the system will reposition the advertising subsector for accelerated growth, attracting immense financial returns and also helping advertisers get value for their money. Now, News Central's Amadun Uyi tells us more.
It was the launch of Nigeria's audience management system for the broadcast industry. In attendance were media and advertising professionals and their counterparts from the creative industry.
This milestone represents a significant leap forward in the country's media landscape and is a testament to our commitment to innovation, adaptability, and the enhancement of the media industry in general. The introduction of this sophisticated audience measurement system is a groundbreaking achievement that aligns with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's vision for a more prosperous and technologically advanced Nigeria.
They say Nigeria's advertising industry has remained stunted in view of a lack of data, which has continuously shortchanged Nigeria's broadcast sector when compared to other African countries.
It is disheartening to note that in spite of having more than 3 times the eyeballs in South Africa, Nigeria's television advertising market revenue is low compared to that of South Africa and Kenya, as we are the 3rd in the continent.
If we are talking in terms of GDP, Nigeria has the highest GDP. In terms of population, Nigeria is over 200 million. Even the number of internet users in Nigeria, they are more than population of some other countries. Now, if you now look at advertising investment, we are not among the top 4 or top 5. So why?
It is a pity that India started 200 years ago. Nigeria is starting today. And that is the sad aspect of this whole situation.
Nigeria's Minister of Information and National Orientation says that the measurement system will present a win-win situation for the country and the sector.
This system will serve as a cornerstone for reliable data by providing accurate and comprehensive insight into media consumption patterns across various demographies. This system we are launching today holds immense importance in ensuring that our broadcasting endeavors are not only impactful, but also reflective of the diverse preferences and needs of our audience.
It would address how preferences are made on advertising, where the revenue should go to, media consumption patterns, all of that. It will also address unethical practices that had hitherto plagued the industry.
What we, the practitioners in the industry, are scrambling for is sub 500 million annually. We believe that by the end of 10 years, with return on investment being proven scientifically, we would grow this market to sub 10 billion in the next 10 years. That's our plan.
The minister says that the audience management system will reposition the industry for accelerated growth. In Abuja for News Central, I am Amadine Uyi.
The federal government of Nigeria has warned hoteliers across the country not to harbor teenagers or underage girls in their facility or risk being sanctioned. The Minister of Women Affairs, Uju Kennedy, read the Rights Act on Saturday at the Unlock Training and Grant ceremony in Abuja. Now, to further, of course, depict the seriousness of the government, the minister disclosed that the hoteliers, especially in the Federal Capital Territory, have been directed to mount a signpost outside their hotels warning prospective clients against lodging any underage girl in their premises. To education matters now, the Zamfara State Governor, Dauda Lawal, has appealed for additional interventions from the Tertiary Education Trust Fund to complete unfinished projects at the state's tertiary institutions. In a statement issued on Sunday by the governor's spokesperson, Sulaiman Idris disclosed that Lawal made this appeal during an official visit to the TED Fund headquarters in Abuja. Lawal significantly or specifically requested support for the Zamfara State University and Abdul Gusau Polytechnic, highlighting that numerous projects initiated by previous administrations remain abandoned. He emphasized the urgent need for these interventions to address accreditation issues at Abdul Gusau Polytechnic. The news continues in West Africa, where hundreds of Ghanaians took to the streets of Accra on Saturday in a peaceful protest against power outages affecting businesses and daily life across the West African nation. Dressed in red and black with leaders in red berets, demonstrators marched through the capital calling on the government to stabilize the power supply, chanting patriotic songs and carrying kerosene-powered lanterns to symbolize their plight. The large crowd caused traffic gridlock in the evening. Despite being one of the first African countries to pursue electrification aggressively, Ghana suffers from chronic power shortages and struggles to expand capacity to meet growing demand. Somalia's government says 5 of its soldiers died in a battle with Al-Shabaab insurgents on Saturday. The government says nearly 50 Al-Shabaab fighters were killed in the battle, about 350 kilometers north of the capital Mogadishu. Government troops and supporting militia forces got word of an attack planned by Al-Shabaab in Kaldeha in the Goladud region and set an ambush, according to a statement. They said airstrikes were also carried out against the Al-Shabaab forces. Al-Shabaab has been waging a deadly insurgency against the fragile central government in Mogadishu for more than 16 years. Voters in Athens cast their ballots on the final and biggest day of elections for the European Union's Parliament, with far-right parties expected to make gains at a pivotal time for the bloc. Now, polling stations opened in 21 member countries, including heavy hitters France and Germany, for the vote that helps shape the EU's direction over the next 5 years. The vote comes as the continent is confronted with Russia's war in Ukraine, global trade and industrial tensions marked by US-China rivalry, a climate emergency, and a West that within months may.
Σημαντικές αυτές τις εκλογές για το μέλλον της Ευρώπης, της Ενωμένης Ευρώπης, προς όλες τις κατευθύνσεις.
Λοιπόν, πιστεύω ότι οι ευρωεκλογές είναι σημαντικές, ειδικά για τους νέους, ότι πρέπει να πάνε να ψηφίσουν και να μην αδιαφορήσουν. Πιστεύω ότι πρέπει να ψηφιστούν άτομα τα οποία έχουν την ικανότητα να σταθούν στις Βρυξέλλες και όχι απλά άτομα τα οποία είναι διάσημα από τηλεόραση ή οτιδήποτε.
Κρίσιμες οι σημερινές ευρωεκλογές, γιατί η Ευρώπη, το Ευρωπαϊκό Κοινοβούλιο πρέπει να αρχίσει να παίζει πραγματικά το ρόλο που το αξίζει που χρειάζεται να παίζει στην καθημερινότητα όλων των Ευρωπαίων πολιτών.
Είναι πολύ σημαντικό που η χώρα μας πλέον συμμετέχει στην Ευρώπη σαν ίσος προς ίσον, σε αντιδιαστολή με τις παρελθοντικές τετραετίες, όπου ήμασταν ένα...
Thousands of Gaza war protesters held the Red Line rally near the White House, voicing anger at what they said is U.S. Joe Biden's tolerance of Israel's bloody military campaign against Hamas. Biden has faced criticism for playing a balancing act on key ally Israel's actions in the conflict. The White House said in May that a deadly Israeli strike on Rafah did not cross a red line that Biden had similarly said 2 months earlier when asked about a potential invasion of the southern Gazan city.
His red line and his rhetoric is all bullshit. You might not be able to hear that, but it's all, you know, it's all for the birds. It's all fluff. You know, it's none of it is actually real. When the people show up in masses and truly stand for the rhetoric that he uses, it shows his hypocrisy and his cowardice as a person, let alone a leader.
I'm here because I think killing civilians and non-combatants, especially children, is morally wrong, and it frankly disgusts me that my tax dollars are paying for this. And as someone who is a descendant of oppressed and occupied peoples, it also feels kind of personal. You know, we just keep seeing this over and over, and this time I'm alive for this sort of thing happening, and I want to say, no, not on my watch, absolutely not.
Mr. Biden's red line is, everybody here is obviously that he keeps waffling and backing down. And I sometimes just don't think he really understands what the situation is all about. I just don't think he gets it. But every time he sets a red line and then backs away from it, he looks weaker and weaker. Well, I voted for Mr. Biden, and I'm very, very disappointed. I will not probably vote for him this fall. I'm not going to vote for Trump.
Thailand's thwarted election winner, Peter Lamajawat, said Sunday he is confident of winning a court case that could see his party dissolved over its pledge to reform the kingdom's tough royal insult suits laws. Peter's reformist Move Forward Party, MFP, won most seats in the last year's general election, but conservative senators stopped him becoming prime minister, partly because of his push to change the laws shielding King Maha from criticism. The Kingdom Constitutional Court is considering a petition to dissolve the MFP. But on Sunday, Peter outlined the party's 9-point defense, saying he believed the case would not go against them.
That means an attack on democracy. It's not just me personally, it's not just the party, but it's really about the discussion about democratic space here in Thailand, of having elected officials, the largest opposition party in the country, that will be abolished, and that means a lot to check and balance. And the strength of the democracy is not about how robust the government is, but how fair and how active the opposition is. That's really what it means. But with the grain of salt, we are not at that stage yet. We are still fighting truth and nail to make sure that if never happens, in this case for the going forward. If there's a rule of law in Thailand, I'm extremely confident with my 9 arguments. Our 9 arguments focuses on the jurisdiction and the process. We focus on the facts and we focus on the...
India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi is said to be sworn in today for a 3rd term after worse than expected election results left him reliant on coalition partners to govern. The ceremony at the Presidential Palace on Sunday evening at 1:45 p.m. will be closely followed as about 30 ministers-to-be also take the oath on the Constitution. Modi has not yet announced the composition of his government, but Modi's Hindu nationalist party, BJP, ruled outright for the past decade but failed to repeat its previous 2 landslides win this time around, defying analyst expectations and exit polls. Former employees of the Central Bank of Nigeria protesting their abrupt dismissal, accusing the bank's management of mistreatment and injustice. The ex-workers claim they are not paid their entitlements prior to being sacked, which they argue is a violation of the bank's human resource policies. In a statement issued Sunday from Jos, the Plateau State capital, Peter Dekete, North Central coordinator of the Conference of Alto Chunas Ethnic Communities Development Association Youth Wing, called for the immediate reinstatement of the dismissed workers. The Kete emphasized that the mass sacking violates the bank's HR policy, which requires board approval for the executive terminations. The dismissals affected the entire Economic Intelligence Unit, a crucial team within the bank responsible for identifying and monitoring illegal financial activities in Nigeria. The Kete pointed out that losing 3 highly trained professionals is a significant setback to the bank's ability to combat money laundering and other illicit financial activities. The Super Eagles of Nigeria touched down Abidjan, that's Côte d'Ivoire, ahead of the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifier against the Cheetah of Benin Republic. The team arrived at the Felix Hubert-Birney International Airport around 12:15 p.m. local time, went through the usual immigration clearance before heading for their hotel. The match against Benin will be held at the Stade Felix Hubert in Abidjan, where the Super Eagles earlier had success during the Africa Cup of Nations in Côte d'Ivoire. The team will head out for training at the same venue as they gear up for an encounter with Cheetahs of Benin Republic. Benin, known as Cheetahs, are coached by former Super Eagles manager Gennett Rohr, who left his position as head coach with Nigeria in 2021. Now, News Central's correspondent Favor Itua, who is live in Abidjan, now joins us for an update. Favor, can you give us the latest on the Super Eagles and how the team's morale is currently after the draw against South Africa?
Good afternoon to you, Dapo. The Super Eagles have finally settled in their hotel. They arrived at 11:15 a.m. Abidjan time. That's 12:15 p.m. Nigerian time. The immigrations, before they would leave the airport, and it took about an hour, 30 minutes, and they finally settled in. They would once again come out this afternoon at Nigerian time. That's 4:30 p.m. Nigerian time for the official pre-match press conference before taking onto the field at 5 p.m. Nigerian time for training. And that's, of course, the routine of the team for today. They have just today to settle in and acclimatize and, of course, prepare for the game tomorrow. The game will be played at Stadium right here in Abidjan. So that's the latest so far with the team, although would get to see more, especially from the Benin Republic team. But all the same, they are looking forward to getting their first win of the FIFA 2026 World Cup qualification. a big blow to the team. He just completed AFCON right here in the city of Abuja.
Favor, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay, Favor, we lost contact with you for a moment. Can you please pick up from the aspect where you were trying to describe, of course, the players, that's the Super Eagles, in terms of their morale? I guess we are unable to connect seamlessly with Favor. But Favor, if you can hear me, please signal. All right, we of course are having a bit of difficulty trying to connect with our correspondent there in Abidjan there, that's Cote d'Ivoire, Favor. But still on the news at this time, still in the world of sports, Oka United head coach Baba Ganaru has emphasized the increasing difficulty of securing victories in the Nigerian Professional Football League, NPFL, now as the season reaches its critical stages. Ahead of their clash with Sunshine Stars, Ganaru noted that heightened competition and stakes, particularly for teams fighting to avoid relegations. And of course, staying in the world of sports, the duo of Wellington Jangere and Monday Christopher dominated the 4th edition of the Emmanuel Egbele annual Scrabble tournament, concluded at the Grand Ballroom of Eko Hotel, Lagos. Over 100 players competed in the Premier and Light Division for a total prize pool of 4 million naira. Wellington Jangere, Africa's sole World Scrabble champion, clinched the Premier Division title with 17 wins and 1 loss, securing victory with 2 rounds to spare. Okemote Taga claimed the 2nd spot based on accumulated points, despite trying with Cyril Ume Biye, who secured 12 wins and 6 losses to finish 3rd. In the light division, Monday Christopher emerged as the champion with 14 wins and 4 losses, edging out Itua Sunday, who secured 2nd position. Omije Osagbede finished 3rd with 13 wins and 5 losses. The event convener, Emmanuel Egbele, along with Premier and Light Divisions champions, emphasized the tournament's significance, its evolution over the 4 editions, and the high level of competition it offers to elite players. And that's a wrap on the news at this time. But before we go, another look at some of our top stories. We told you that security agents have come down hard on insurgents as army killed 6 in raid on IPOB camp in Abia State. NLC accuses governors of acting in bad faith over minimum wage negotiation. We also told you that 5 soldiers have been killed in battle with terrorists in Somalia. Don't forget to send in your eyewitness report to the WhatsApp number on the screen. You can also follow us live across these platforms. That's DSTV channel 422, Star Times channel 274, Avo TV, and YouTube. Many thanks for watching. I'm Dakbo at Digboyi. Bye for now.